It covers a broad range from everything from implantable devices to the way we use data to inform and make decisions around healthcare, to patient-facing devices and the technology that we might use, for example, wearable technologies. So it's a very, very broad area. I think they've a huge range already in terms of diagnostics, in terms of improving outcomes. We've seen vast changes in terms of treatment within the cath lab, within theatres. We've also seen huge changes in terms of the way we can use data to inform our healthcare decisions and predict patterns of healthcare. But we're seeing changes in the way people use their own data to improve their own health, so the wearable technologies, quantified self. We can see changes in the way we might be able to diagnose new conditions through technologies, and also the way people might be able to track and monitor their health and provide health information in a timely fashion that fits people's current lifestyles. I think it's difficult to say specifically for the whole gamut, but each bits of technology are showing considerable promise in the way they're enabling us to manage cardiovascular health better and enabling patients to self-manage. So because the technology is so diverse, it does make that question rather harder. However, in terms of my own area of interest, which is in patient self-management, we know that self-management has been shown to be at least equivalent to traditional face-to-face interventions with people. Age is no barrier, so don't think that it's something that's just for the younger population. So there's definitely evidence emerging, but of course technology changes so rapidly that keeping pace with those changes and ensuring the evidence supports it is a challenge for us. There are definitely a number of different barriers. Cost is obviously a barrier. Anything that moves this rapidly, it's difficult to get embedded into a healthcare system in a way that's useful and usable and sustainable, as the technology is already outdated by the time we take it up. So there are things that we could begin to look at, our regulatory processes and how are we going to use technology, how can we think about the elements of a technology rather than validating every single technology that comes along. Are there bits of it that work better than others? Streamlining ethics processes from a research point of view so that we're not held up for a year waiting to actually start testing, by which time the technology is already outmoded. And I think procurement systems need to be more agile so that we're not buying older technology and we're not dependent on the technology, but we're thinking about the system in which it's embedded. There are so many things coming ahead, but I think for me it's the potential to work more closely with computing science and use the learning from each area to improve our understanding of how health works, and helping people who are developing these tools to understand the patient's voice within the tool, but also helping us as healthcare professionals to understand that it's not the tool per se, but it's how it works within a system that's really important. But there's of course some incredibly exciting work being done on visualization and graphics. Really means we're at the cutting edge of the way technology might enhance diagnosis and management of cardiovascular disease.